Day number 1, game number 2 of the 2025 Grube Holiday Classic. Brent Balbinot alongside Chris Dales welcoming you back on DCTV Sports as the host, Defiance Bulldogs, welcoming the Bowling Green, I want to say Falcons. It's the Bobcats. It's what happens when you work in the MAC for the last 8 seasons. Just the same, though, the winner will advance to Monday night's championship against St. Francis. We'll get you the starting lineups and the keys to the game here in just a second. Both teams, one offensive look, one missed shot, one turnover. As Jordan Wright, little handsy defense as the Bobcats coming out in a tight man-to-man defense. Bulldogs in their home whites with the blue lettering and numerals. Bobcats with their traveling silver uniforms with the white lettering and numerals and orange trim. Wright spins, fades away from 15, got a good look, couldn't get it to fall. Thomas Meek standing in at 6'3", one of the few players above 6 foot for this Bowling Green roster. And they turn it over at the other end. Not quite 2 minutes into the first quarter. Khalil Ligon, spin move, fades away. Garrison Smitty, he timed that well. Up top, Josiah Slatter. Boy, he doesn't miss many of those.
Good offensive rebound by Defiance. It's got to convert.
Quick outlet, quick hands by Schlatter. Forces a jump ball, and the arrow points to the Bulldogs.
That's a nice job. Usually you get a foul called on that, but he just stayed on top of the ball, and that's what got him the jump ball call. Nice job.
A little bit of token pressure. Looks like a 2-2-1 here by the Bobcats.
Trying to slow Defiance down a little bit. See.
That's how you beat it with a 6'6" center. Go over the top, flash him to the middle.
In the middle of the court, you got it.
Schlatter on the drive, nothing doing. Smitty with the board, fades away, hits the deck. No call, man. They are letting him play in the early going.
Yeah, they definitely are. Got a lot of action, but no points.
On the drive, running one-hander, nothing doing. Ligon clears out. And the Bulldogs will slow it down. We'll get your starters and your keys to the game at the first timeout or first dead ball stoppage of play. Jordan Wright thinking about it. A little bit more patience right now, and that's what they wanted. Ligon flashes down low, and he breaks the scoreboard first.
Nice seal inside. Put the defender on his left hip, away from the basket. Easy finish for him.
Really dogging the basketball, Logan Hutchison. Say that because he's a standout third baseman. Nice dribble penetration.
I think they got away with a little travel there, but sometimes that happens. Nice take.
Yep. Well, I was going to say double checking, I'm trying to pronounce his name, Jashius Shannon, the starting point guard, number 1 for Bowling Green, has been battling injury all season long. He played sparingly last night. He's on the floor as a starter tonight and allowing Defiance to come out in their full court press with that turnover.
Looks like Bowling Green's in a 2-2-1 here, applying full court pressure to Defiance. Great ball movement by Defiance.
Whistle sounds. Bulldogs being very aggressive, trying to get to the basket.
When you finish with a layup versus a press, you're doing some good things. That's exactly what Defiance is doing right now.
Owen Fry, underclassman, is on the floor and heads to the free throw line. Drains his first.
6-foot freshman.
Yep. That's his first free throw attempt, his first free throw make of the season.
Not too often you see a freshman out there.
Nope. He looks good in practice.
Yes, playing well.
Yep.
Does not look like a freshman.
No. 6-2, Bulldogs with the lead. And sagging down low, keeping everything underneath the arc, and that's going to be a turnover. Offensive foul.
Tried to push off to create some space, and he got caught doing it.
Antoine Lawrence, the guilty party. His first, team foul number 2.
Full court man-to-man press now.
Yep.
Changing it up.
We're roughly halfway through this first quarter, and we haven't had a dead ball timeout yet.
No, we haven't.
Schlatter on the drive. Dishes. Deflected out of bounds.
Right idea.
Antoine Lawrence got a hand on it.
We went about almost 3 minutes without a basket. Now we got 8 points within a short period of time.
Schlatter to Ligon. He's got all 4 of the team's points. Make it all 7 with a Premier Bank three-pointer.
That was a smooth stroke.
And Coach Mason Roth wants a timeout. We will keep it here. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at your starters. First for the Defiance Bulldogs, unbeaten on the season after a big win last night. Logan Hutchison, Jordan Wright, who averages nearly 10 a ball game. Josiah Schlatter, I guess we didn't have a timeout, but we're still going to keep him up here. He's averaging nearly 16 as an underclassman. Ligon at 16.3, and Garrison Smitty with 4 points. But how about this, 11.5 rebounds per ball game.
Definitely controlling the paint. Great backdoor cut there by Defiance for an easy layup. Got to love that play.
On the flip side, the starting point guard in the game, Josiah Shannon. There's a turnover on the drive, a little hard by Thomas Meek. You see Antoine Loris, Sam Wiles, and Brennan Howard. Howard with a little bit of size, one of the few Bobcat players over 6'1". We'll get you the keys to the game at the first stoppage of play, which might be the end of the first quarter.
It might be.
11-2. Fry on the drive. Did he drag his pivot foot? Yes, he did. Got a little ahead of himself.
Yeah, he did.
There's the underclassman, maybe the nerves and the game moving a mile a minute.
Good start for the Defiance here. Excellent job on the defensive end, controlling both the boards and contesting every shot that Bowling Green has put up.
Brennan Howard, they dish it down low. Meek fades away. Tough shot. Did everything but finish.
Ooh.
Lots of physicality here, and who's the foul going against? It might be Will Horvath.
I thought he had a good blockout position there. Bulldogs are in the right spot defensively, I will say that.
Horvath guilty of his first team foul, number 1. So we approach 2.5 left to go first quarter.
Good
quick hands.
Yep.
Horvath strips it. Ligon comes away with it. He's going coast to coast. Big man running, and he just misses the layup. Stays with it, and look at that. Fry crashes the glass for 2. And now we've got a timeout on the floor. Full timeout. We'll keep it here. We just gave you the Baker Schindler Company starting lineups. Here's a quick peek at the Northwest Community College keys to the game. Your key to career opportunity starts with a great education at Northwest Community College. Let's start with Bryn Lehman and the Bulldogs as they are looking to maintain a perfect record. 'Tis the season of giving. We were just talking about it. Assists on the season. You're taking a look at Jordan Wright with 16. Logan Hutchison with 13. Josiah Schlatter, despite being an underclassman with 10, you've got to be able to share the basketball. And then defensively, Coach, I don't think they've been given enough credit.
Yeah.
But out of their 5 games, 4 opponents have been held to under 40 points. You remember the old Stevie Ray Vaughan song, if the house is a-rockin', don't bother knocking? You are going to be hard-pressed to get anything inside the arc against this Defiance defense.
You're seeing it right now. They are playing lights-out defense. They're contesting shots. They're knocking down players. Hands are in the passing lanes. And then it's creating their offense for them. That's why they're up 13-2 right now. And definitely Defiance is playing at a very, very high level defensively.
On the flip side for Bowling Green, again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. They want to keep the game in the 50s as a nifty drive and stop and pop jumper off the fingertips of Parker Jackson Grazer, and that's just their second basket of the first quarter here. And Schlatter, nice drive, switches from the left to the right hand and gets the friendly roll. And then some assembly required it's Christmas. I'm guessing you've had to put together a toy or two for your kids when they were younger.
Yeah, that's true.
Coach Mason Ross says the same thing about 4 full quarters with this team. They play great in stretches, but in their 5 losses, they have had 1 or 2 stretches. It doesn't be very long. Doesn't mean like it's 5 minutes or 6 minutes, but just 60 seconds here, 90 seconds there, where they slump, and next thing you know, you've given up a 4-0, a 6-0, an 8-0 run, and now you're digging yourself out of a hole.
We were seeing it right here. We are seeing it right here to be in the game. You know, they just started off cold. Defensively, they were giving up some easy buckets to Defiance, and if they can cut that out of their so-called game, they're going to be right there. So that's something they definitely can work on, but it's something that it's easily worked on.
Shannon misses down low as a wraparound pass to Brennan Howard. He wasn't quite ready for it. Bulldogs basketball, already leading by 11. Right on the drive, stops and pops, leaves it short, but stayed with it. He'll back it out. And again, attacks there, and a chest pass might have been the better route to go instead of a bounce pass.
Yeah, definitely when the big guy's cutting hard to the basket, it's a lot easier for him to handle. Plus, he's 6'7".
Shannon drains the three-pointer from the far corner, and he's got 5 of the Bobcats' 7 points.
A little run here by them.
15-7. Under a minute left to go. Schlatter, he's got the green light. He's a little long here. Brez Zippel, starting quarterback on the football team. You see that big brace on his left knee. This is his first action of the season. He's been coming back from injury. Stopping, catch and shoot from the far wing. Caden Torres can't find the range. And with less than 30 seconds left to go, it looks like the Bulldogs will work for the final shot of the quarter.
Yeah, that's what it looks like here. Be patient. Get down to 10 seconds or so. Let's attack. Let's run it.
In about 3 seconds or so, you would expect them to put their offense into motion. 9 seconds. Now they got to move. 8, 6, still beyond the arc. Wright might have to force up a tough shot. He'll drive and instead drains the 15-footer from the elbow.
Created some nice space for him for the nice jump shot. Good execution by the Bulldogs, and great way to finish the first quarter. Up 17-7.
We will take a Mark Moats Ford timeout. Back with the second quarter when we return. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Second 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. We welcome you back to the Dog Pound as Defiance off to a good start. 17-7 over visiting Bowling Green. Second game of day number 1's action of the 2025 Grube Holiday Classic. We already know the top half of this bracket is played out as St. Francis of Toledo will be playing in the championship game on Monday night. Anthony Wayne will be in the consolation round. As shot goes up, Garrison Smitty smacks his hands together as he crashed the glass, but it slips through his fingertips.
There was not a gray jersey around.
No.
Defiance had everything sealed. It just went off of his hands, but they're doing everything right defensively right now.
He's averaging double-digit rebounds per game.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it, yeah.
On the drive, hands, and he thought he got all ball, but the official thinks otherwise, and Logan Hutchison is going to be called for the foul.
He might have had a case there right there. He had all ball.
Grazier's dribble came high. Love to see replay on it. Top of the key, Brogan Paisley has checked into the ball game. Here's Shannon, beautiful crossover move, double clutches in midair. Wow. That's a pretty move.
Yeah. Over 3 Defiance players. Good help defense.
He's got 7 of his team's 9 points. The Bulldogs break the press. Wright fakes the three. Bounce pass to the trailer, double clutching, and Horvath made that shot more difficult than it needed to be.
Yeah, he did.
He thought contact was coming, and it wasn't.
Yeah. Defiance had 2 good shots at it.
Long three, short off the iron by Lawrence. Long shots make for long rebounds. He'll back it out about 3 feet closer, and this time he's long. Third shot probably would have been Baby Bears porridge, right?
Yeah, definitely. And those are so hard to defend against when they come off the front of the rim, too. Because you're in right position, but you have no chance because it comes off so hard and long.
Zipfel on the drive, releases, right for 3. Goes begging off the right side. Zipfel, that's what we called a dagger in college. You try and pap it out to a teammate, but then this time it goes to Shannon. 360 spin move. Now you know why they want number 1 in the lineup.
Yeah, he does a lot. Very athletic.
He'd been averaging 16 points, 2 boards, and 2 assists, but he's missed their last 5 games.
I can see why. And Defiance, they need to be a little patient here. Bowling Green's on a nice run.
Horvath on the drive, releases to Zipfel. That was half pass, half screen, and Zipfel with his first points of the afternoon. We've got a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here. 30-second break, but right now up 19-11. Defiance, again, picked up a big win last night. They were home against St. Mary's Memorial. And I don't know if Jeff, our cameraman, can get a shot of the boys basketball banner on the opposite side of the gymnasium. But you see all the WBL championship years. There's only one under boys basketball. And their goal is to tack on another one.
Interesting time out there by Coach Lehman. I think he wasn't happy with their defensive effort. Nice run by Bowling Green. Let's settle them down. Let's get back to the basics. And
there we go.
There we go.
Well, we saw a good set. There we go. Now he's getting it. Boys basketball is just off to the left there. Action resumes. And do we have a 2-3 zone? Nope. Sagging man-to-man.
Yeah.
Stopping and popping from 15. Shot is short by Grazier. And here comes the sophomore Schlatter. Trailing Ligon stops and pops. I don't think he quite had his base set there.
Yeah, he wasn't set. Yeah, his body was facing one way and the basket was the other way.
Lawrence kicks it out up top. Quick 3. Nothing doing by Wiles.
Defiance is definitely controlling the defensive board.
Very much.
I think they need to be a little bit more patient here on offense. Let's get a good-looking shot.
Schlatter fades away from 15. He's a little off today. He still has 4. But that's a shot he normally drains.
I'd like to see maybe not so much fadeaway, but a little bit more straight up. Try to be patient here and get a good shot.
Grazier crosses over, then surrenders in the corner to Paisley. Coming up on 4.5 left to go in the second quarter. Bobcats being much more patient. Oh, he stepped on the baseline. And that's
Good
just
defense.
great. Yep, you beat me to
defense. Yep. You know what you like about that is you always tell the defender, put your foot on the end line, stop him. But he was pushing him just enough, forced him out of bounds. I like the physicality there. Good defense by Defiance.
Score remains 8, 19-11. Bulldogs have only scored 1 basket so far here in the second quarter. Bobcats have only put 2 on the board. Here comes the full court press. They'll break it up the near side. Now into their pattern offense.
Still man-to-man by Bowling Green.
Oh, they run Fry through, first cutter, nothing doing. Schlatter, oh, they missed him. He was open in the low blocks and they missed him. Fry will put up a long 3. Ligon with the board, swinging those elbows. And now he'll put it on the floor. He'll split a double team. That's just a man-sized basket.
The big boy is working hard. Give him all the credit. He got the offensive rebound. He took charge and went to the basket himself and said, I'll take care of this. Love it.
Lead
Great
back
effort.
up to double digits, 21-11. Look at Fry getting right into the kitchen of Wiles. Meek surrenders the ball. Fry, they don't have it centered. It doesn't matter. He's going coast to coast.
And
count it, and one coming. Wow.
Great body positioning. People don't realize how hard that is when you're up in the air and keeping the ball away from the defender and then keeping the guy on your hip. Tremendous job right there.
Still waiting to see who that foul is going to be charged to for Bowling Green. And it's going to go against Clay Gherkin, who is not on the original program. I'm glad I had a chance to sit and talk with Coach Ross. He's a 6'2 freshman.
Nice steal by Defiance.
Oh, laying in, hitting the deck hard, and Fry will go right back to the charity stripe.
You know, that's something that I wish more teams would do. After the defense gets a rebound, collapse on them and make it hard. A lot of teams just turn and run. That's exactly what Defiance did. They put pressure on the guy who got the rebound, then they got the steal. Now we're shooting two. I love that aggressiveness.
Fry back to the stripe. His first free throw of the season came back in the first quarter. And right now he is 3 for 4, trying to make it 4 for 5. He cannot.
Really impressed with him as a freshman.
Yep. So thin. Think what a season or two in the weight room is going to do for him.
Yeah, he'll definitely fill out.
Oh, great backdoor cut. And Fry, there's where being, again, probably, 6'5", 6'6", and those long arms pays dividends.
Yeah, definitely so. He recovered. He was beat initially, but his length was able to allow him to recover. They forced the ball off Bowling Green, and, hey, whatever God gives you, use it.
Well, they're coming out in full court pressure. Nice job to go over the top with the point guard, and that's a quick break of the press. And with just under 3 minutes, Bulldogs will back it out and run some offense. Right. Oh, Liggins posting his man up. He's got him on his hip. They can't find him. Instead, he'll screen. Wright sees this one. Wow, Fry crashes in. 2 good looks.
Ooh.
Here they come at the other end. Torres surrenders the basketball in the far wing. Lawrence has picked up his dribble, and there's where they've just sped him up. Howard had great position, but he was just moving too fast.
Yeah, I tell you what, Owen Fry's heck of a game.
Yep.
Offensively, defensively, rebounding the ball. I'm really impressed with that young man.
Hutchison will slow it down, and they will not press as he'll bring it across the timeline. Wright thought about a 3. Puts it on the floor, stops and pops from 15. He has such a sweet-looking J.
That was nice.
It's almost really a lost art anymore, isn't it? The stop-and-pop jumper.
Yeah.
26-11 and another steal. Ligon, coast to coast. Big man running. He's fouled. I think, is that going to be on the floor? Yep, they're going to say 2 shots.
He had one thing on his mind. Attack the basketball, and I think he was going to go for the dunk. He was setting up for it.
He wanted to break a backboard.
Yeah, that's okay.
Instead, he can add 2 from the charity stripe.
Yeah.
So we've got a 30-second timeout. We'll take one as well. 2:01 left to go in the first half. All Bulldogs back after this on DCTV Sports. There you get a good look at the Spirit squad for Defiance. Buzzer sounds. They've had plenty to cheer about so far here in the first half, as the host Bulldogs leading the visiting Bobcats at Bowling Green 26-11. Day number 1, game number 2 of the 2025 Grube Holiday Classic. St. Francis knocked off Anthony Wayne in the opener this afternoon by a final of 69-48. So they await the winner of this one in the championship game, as Khalil Ligon heads to the charity stripe. Khalil already with a good first half. He's got 9 points. He's got a chance to go double digits with his first free throw, and he does.
He's working hard. He's doing what I call the dirty work. Offensive rebounds, positioning, defensive rebounds. He's working hard.
The free throw line has been a sore spot of his game. He's only shooting 44%. He's 50 here, 1 of 2. Long board kicks out. Hutch pulls it away. Did he step out of bounds? Yep, that's going to be a turnover. You can't fault that, though.
No, definitely not. And that's why you practice, right? You got to get better. I'm sure Coach Lehman runs him, puts him on the foul line, and he'll get better.
Well, we always had to shoot free throws at the end of practice. Coach wanted to simulate 2 things. Number 1, the pressure situation of 1 to tie, 2 to win.
Yep.
But also at the end of practice when you're gassed and your legs might be a little rubbery, what are you going to face in a ball game?
Yep. I hear you, man. I hear you. My time coaching basketball, too, it was some type of full court running, whatever it may be, and then put them on the line.
Long pass, overthrown, and the press pays dividends with a steal. Right, nice crossover move, middle of the paint, can't finish.
Good take, though. Good take. Good move.
Here comes Shannon, 1 on 3. A little too much shake and bake, and then he's going to get bailed out. He lost control there, and he's fortunate that wasn't a turnover.
I know he's hurt, and he's probably coming back from some type of injury, but he's a difference maker when he's on the court. He does so many things for the Bobcats.
Well, if you look closely, and I think it's the right ankle is taped a little heavier, and it's been bothering him. Spin move.
Look at that, just
out of bounds off of him. He wanted a foul. He's pleading his case.
Yeah. He took it hard to the basket.
Change in call is not forthcoming.
No.
Now
sometimes it's just better just to walk away.
Yep. Frustration kicking in as you're down by 16, but you got to be careful here.
You do. Like his aggressiveness, though.
Yep. Horvath goes over the top. Right. Do they have numbers? It's 2 on 4. Good transition D by the Bobcats.
Good decision to pull it out. No reason to force it at this point.
Right, just kind of east-west. Oh, nice bounce pass as Ligon posted up a little strong off the glass. Johnny on the spot, leans in. Give him 2 more.
Kid's working hard. So hard, never giving up underneath the boards. He's playing, he's tall, but he's playing even taller tonight.
He's got 12 already in the first half as Shannon almost turned it over. That's just great on-ball defense by Hutch. Shannon, instead he'll spot up for 3. Goes begging off the right side. Good weak side board, though, by Wiles.
Rear offensive rebound by the Bobcats.
25 seconds left to go in the half. And he takes it right at Hutchison, and Hutch picks up his 2nd foul.
As a spectator, I guess I would call that a ticky-tack foul. Barely touched him. Let him play. Don't start that now. You got 23 seconds left.
1 more puts the Bobcats in the bonus. Oh, nice inbounds down low, and just missed by Gherkin.
He was contested, though. That's what you like.
Well,
as
a freshman, as a senior, he'll probably have another 10, 15 pounds on him. He'll use his body there.
Yeah, he will. 9
seconds. 6. Wright still has the ball. He's going to take a 3. Got it!
Wow. Good patience.
Jay Wright with a Premier Bank 3 just before the buzzer sounds. And that puts an exclamation point on a tremendous first half for Defiance as they lead 32-11 as both clubs head to the locker room. We'll take a quick timeout. Our Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. When we come back, you're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Back at the Dog Pound, it is halftime of day number 1, game number 2 of the 2025 Grube Holiday Classic. We already know the end of the first matchup, as it was 69-48. St. Francis knocked off Anthony Way. Both coaches, Coach Jamie and Coach Josh, are joining us right now. Right now, 32-11 our score, as host Defiance taking it to Bowling Green. Gentlemen, wow, tremendous facilities. We were just talking about it here, but also a chance to get kind of a postseason feel. You've got great, obviously it doesn't make any difference if you don't have quality competition here, but take us through this. What interested both of you gentlemen in bringing your programs here for the last couple of seasons?
Really, playing Defiance is always fun. It's fun to come out here, but knowing that Jamie and St. Francis out here, you know, you want that kind of atmosphere. You want to be able to play them. You know, Bowling Green jumped in this year. They're a good team. Mason's, you know, working his tail off to get them to where he wants them to be. But it's a fun environment. It's a beautiful gym. I mean, look at it out here. Yeah. This is what everybody wants right here.
Jimmy, how's it feel to be a trailblazer then, I guess? As you go, so goes the rest of the world, right?
So you know, when I was at Cardinal Stritch, we used to always scrimmage Defiance. And then when I came to St. Francis, Brendan started talking about this tournament that they were starting, and I told him for sure that we would want to be a part of it. And it's been great. We've been here now. This is year 3 for both of us.
Yep.
You know, and it's just great. The Defiance people love basketball, so it's always good. And then, you know, Coach Lehman got the Rossford roots from back when. So I graduated in '93, and he took over in '94. So, you know, I've known the Lehman family for a long time. So anytime I can come out here and be a part of what they do is great.
We always joke, dignitaries on the left, luminaries on the right. Coach Lehman can walk wherever he darn well pleases. Let's break down your game, though. First half, and Coach, let's start with you. You got the tempo I think you told me you wanted. You didn't want to track me. You said the salsa needed to be mild today. You pleased with your team's first half performance? Yeah. It was anybody's ball game at the half.
I thought in the first half we played well. We were able to kind of take a couple of their players they have and make them do what we wanted them to do. And, you know, it just didn't turn out like that in the third quarter. The third quarter was a big third quarter. I mean, they really jumped us pretty good. They were able to get the shots they wanted. They buried those shots when they had them. But I was very pleased with the first half. I think our guys know that, you know, if we played again, you know, we could be there and we can be solid. But at the same time, you can't have a third quarter the way we had a third quarter. And hats off to them. I mean, sure. They were magnificent. 22, Jimmy, they were absolutely tremendous.
What was your message to your team in the locker room? Because it didn't look like you did anything necessarily different schematically, Coach, but the intensity, the pressure, just the tempo of the ball game was different.
Yeah, that was the big point for me at halftime. Going into it, I knew Anthony Wayne, they always play hard, right? And, we did have a big game last night up in Detroit, so we played a 7 o'clock game in Detroit and then came back. So I knew the sluggish part I was worried about. We had shooter on this morning, and I could feel it there. I kept telling them, they're going to punch you in the jaw. Last year when we played, they did the same exact thing. And so at halftime, my message wasn't loud, but I think it was clear that, you have to outwork them because right now they're outworking you. And, I think we got our rhythm going. Our kids played harder. A couple of seniors started to step up. And then Trayshawn, who he's talking about, Chenault, our sophomore, he's talented. We were talking about him before the game, and I'm like, if the light ever clicks, he's as talented as they come. And, he found his confidence and makes, gets a dunk, and then that usually gets him going. And then, he hit some really good three and then a mid-range jumper. And, when the older guys see a younger guy do that, it just kind of gets the
Comes
whole
infectious.
Going. Yeah.
Whatever he had for breakfast, I'm sure you're telling him to do it again. A kid that's averaging 3.5 a game finishes in double digits. But if I'm hearing you right, he's capable of that on a regular basis.
Yeah, he's when we played at Lima Central Catholic, he only had 8 points, but he had like 10 rebounds. And it was kind of quiet. And you're like, Trey, you could do that. You're as long and athletic as anyone. So it's a growing process. Last year he was 6'2.5", 6'3", and now he's about 6'7.5", and I don't think he's done. It's kind of a whole. He's just got to mature a little bit, and in his game today, if he could do that, then we could be pretty tough.
One thing that they did well too for you, Coach. Again, I'm looking down here. Zane with just 1 point. And I know he came in averaging, I think it was close to 14. Yeah. Kind of seems to be the straw that stirs the drink. And the beauty of this sport, too, is you don't have to wait a week like, say, football or some other sports. You're going to be back here. With the way the schedule fell this year, a little odd that you get a Sunday off, but you're back Monday night. What's your message to your team in the consolation round?
Just making sure we keep our heads right. It's making sure that we go through the process the right way. We're going to come in tomorrow, we're going to watch film, and we're going to get after it at practice tomorrow. There's no day before a game, take it easy. You're going to get 1% better every single day. Talk to Zane Kudja. He's a great basketball player. He plays 28 to 30 minutes a game. Great guy on defense, great guy, offensive rebounder, defensive rebounder. You have those games every once in a while. Luckily, he gets to come back on Monday, but we had Cole Biedenharn, who played really, really well for us today. We had Blake Robeson, who played really well for us today. We just need a couple other guys to step up with those two to be able to play games with St. Francis.
We gave Jay Gass plenty of face time, but I know he's out of eligibility, so we couldn't help there. But at the same time, gentlemen, we appreciate you coming up here. Looking forward to covering you Monday night. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Look, we're only as good as the coaches who help us, and I can tell you right now, both of these gentlemen were quick to respond with team stats, team backstories. So a tip of the cap to both of you, and can't wait to see you back here on Monday. We're going to take a quick time out. Back with more of the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show on DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
The Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show is in the books. We want to thank Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, celebrating 70 years of helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon, and always online at midwestcommunity.org. Being rejoined by the coach Chris Dales as Defiance leading Bowling Green 32-11. Khalil Ligon leading all scorers with 14. Jordan Wright had 7, including that three-pointer at the end of the first half. Only 2 players in the scoring column for Bowling Green, and this man right now is one of them. He's got 9 of their 11 points, Jasius Shannon. They've got to get somebody else to help him.
Yeah, Bowling Green is trying to change things up a little bit. They're in a 1-3-1, and Defiance struggled the first time down, but there they found the open person for the three-pointer.
35-11. They pick up where they left off. What I liked there was you saw two rivals, but that also have tremendous respect for each other.
Yeah.
You saw them. I don't think our cameras were running. They didn't just handshake. They kind of gave each other a half hug, if you will. There's still a lot of machismo on those sidelines. But those guys play in different conferences, different schools, but you've got so much talent. You don't have to travel an hour outside of Toledo to be able to load up non-conference games.
And there's a lot to be said because they're basically in the same neighborhood to Toledo area. And you never know when you might need the other coach for a vote here or there down the line for all district or for whatever it may be. So, there's a lot of respect, and that's really good to see because you always want to promote your players, and that's how it's done right there. Respect.
Well, and you heard them, too. This is a tournament that they want to play in now. It's, when you first start one up, as Garrison Smitty at the stripe and leaves this one a little bit long. Smitty, 60% from the charity stripe. And, again, it's one thing to have to drive, say, an hour, hour and a half. Most coaches don't want to go that far, especially when you're talking the Christmas break, as Smitty drains one of two. He's now in the books, 36-11 Defiance. But at the same time, you want to know that you're playing against teams that will challenge you and make you better.
Yeah. There's so many positives to this tournament. One, the competition. Two, you're treated very well. Three, you're playing in a great venue.
Yep.
And four is there's so much respect that you gain, and your players are going to get better in it. And that's what you want. You want to gain some respect, have your players get better, and it's a win-win situation.
Yep. Antoine Lawrence launches up an air ball, and here we come at the other end. Wright thought about a three. Nifty move and finishes on the baseline drive.
We'll take the two-point layup.
Take a score. Definitely. And again, when you're up by like this, again, 27 points, as a nice drive, stop and pop jumper and into the books. That's going to be Jackson Grazier. It's easy to maybe downshift, get a little lazy.
Can't do it.
A little sloppy. Or let's just plain say lose track of what you're doing, and that's playing street ball, and that's not what Defiance is doing right now. By virtue of the fact that you saw a nice high-low there, and Smitty didn't get the basket, but he did draw the contact.
And I'm going to go back to just discipline. Coach Lehman, his program, what his dad did through all those years and what he's carrying on. It's about discipline. You're going to play Defiance basketball. It's going to be this way, and you're not going to vary from it. And that's how they've been able to win state championships, win league titles, and be competitive no matter who they're playing against.
38-13 right now. Bowling Green just trying to find an offensive spark. And Shannon is not on the court. Wow, great steal. Hutch almost tripped over his own feet. Wright loses the ball. He was looking to make a move before he had it. And from his rear end, almost made the spectacular play. Hutch missed the layup, but here comes Ligon off a great screen by Smitty. He misses the bunny. Ligon picks it up, and he's stripped. Big man dropped it down low, and that's quick hands by Paisley. At the other end, good transition D, and draining the three. Samuel Wiles is now in the books. Look at that, quickly moving at the other end. Was that partially blocked?
Smitty is all over the offensive boards. I think that's 3 offensive boards just in 2 trips down. He is keeping their offensive line.
We had a frenetic, probably, 3 or 4 possessions there. Slowed down a bit, and Schlatter explodes. He's not draining the long perimeter jumpers tonight, but he's getting to the iron.
We call that the hesitation move. Just enough hesitation to have the defender stop, slow down, then boom, you're by him. Great move.
Hutch picks up, is it his second or his third? It's just a second. He'll come out, as will Smitty. Fry, the freshman, who's had a spectacular first half with 7 points, checks in. And look at this, Trey Bibler, a 5'10 sophomore. I think 5'10 might be a bit gracious.
They're pushing it. Defiance staying with their fundamental defense, man-to-man.
And that's just a great move to use your body to shield off the defender and then to go up strong. And Grazier with his second basket of the second half.
He got really deep. You can't let him get that deep.
Schlatter, that is money for him 9 out of 10 times. It's around the world. It spits out. And look at Fry staying with it. Goes up strong. He has a propensity to hit the deck on almost all contact, but he hops back up and we'll head to the stripe.
He's learning, and he's going to grow, and he's going to get stronger, but he's going to the basket. He's going hard. You know, next year as a sophomore and junior, hopefully that won't happen, and definitely by his senior year, it'll be the other guy going to the floor.
Foul against Lawrence, his second. Fry drains his first. I'd be happy to give him 20 pounds right now.
Yep.
41-18. Second is on the way. Can't get it to fall. What a difference a season makes. This time last year. Oh, around the world, this one kicks out and heads up. Here comes Bibler.
People got to remember, he was an 8th grader last year,
Yep.
and they don't practice and play over Christmas. He's sitting home and watching TV, playing video games, and eating. Now you're playing against 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds.
Yep. I didn't know what any of those things were as I grew up in a kid. We were basically told to go outside and play and not to come back until the sun set.
Oh, man.
We didn't have cell phones.
I talk about that in health class all the time. I tell them stories. We were playing $5 all day long, riding our bikes all over town. Yeah, things have changed.
And the thing was, too, you knew that you weren't supposed to be lounging in the house. You were expected to be out.
Yeah, they didn't, Mom, Dad, they didn't want you home.
No.
Just be home by dark.
Exactly.
Be home by dark.
And you had everybody's phone numbers memorized. There wasn't any check your phone list in your
riding bicycles.
How many names and numbers did you memorize as a youngster?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Thanks for that four-wheel drive trip down memory lane, Coach.
Yep.
Oh, Ligon, power move, goes up strong.
Nothing stopping him on that. Full court press by Defiance.
Yep, they're putting on all – they're basically just turning the screws right now.
Yeah. It's great to work on this stuff right now.
Well, this time last year in the opening round of their own tournament, Defiance got beat by Anthony Wayne 45-36 as Fry drives, count it, and one coming. Wow.
Good move. Went up strong. Used his body well to shield, too. You don't see that too often.
Gherkin picks up his second. And right now, Defiance just clicking on all cylinders. First free throw is up. It's good. Actually, it's the only free throw as he completes the three-point play. He's got 11 off the bench. How about that?
Fine standing in a full court man-to-man press.
BG goes over the top of it. They've got a 2-on-1. And that's just plain challenging Ligon, and that's a tough move. And you saw him initiate contact as Lawrence now in the scoring column.
Wow. Good transition by Defiance. Filling the lanes.
BG, here we come again. Did he walk? Was he fouled? Khalil Ligon trying to say the same thing. It looked like maybe a pivot foot got drugged there, but
a little bit of a track meet here the last minute and a half. Wow, great seal by Defiance. When the ball hits the floor and you go get it, you can't ask for anything better.
Ligon, oh, look at this, showing some range. He's upset with himself. Now they're going to be fortunate here as the long rebound kicks out. And Coach Lehman directing traffic. He's saying, let's run some offense.
Let's get a good shot, guys.
Fry comes off a Ligon screen. He's going to drive, and wow, did that play look like it happened in slow motion?
Oh, man, it did, yeah.
He's got 13 on the night.
Good baseline move by Defiance, too. They're running again. Heads up play.
Horvath, nobody's picked him up. He'd rather dish. Up top, right, decides to pass on the three. He wants that stop and pop 15-footer. Follows his own shot. Look out. Who reached in? Or do we have a foul off the ball?
Unselfish play by Defiance there, making the extra pass. And you made a good point. You know, that's one of those things that sometimes you don't work on as much in practice as just following your shot. It's just one of those things that hopefully you learn as a younger player, but nice job with that. He was able to draw the foul, and looks like he'll be shooting too.
Yeah, that would be team foul number 5, so we're in the bonus. So Wright will head to the charity stripe. First time tonight. Jordan on the season, 83%.
What's your thoughts on the new foul rule?
It's been going on for, is it a season or two now?
This is,
two
I think,
seasons,
the second
right?
season, yeah.
I can understand why they made the change. At the same time, I'm a traditionalist.
Yeah.
I like being able to include the strategy in the game, and if you know the other team has a poor foul shooter, that's why you go after him. Force the one-on-one.
Yeah.
As Wright makes 1 of 2. So
it's almost like you're punished harsh.
Yeah.
Right away.
It takes a lot of strategy, especially late in close games, out of coaches' hands.
Yeah. I like the building process. You know, I like the one-on-one. You know, you stressed foul shooting so much more in practice. You know, we got to make our one-on-one.
Yes. It's an integral part of the game. Yeah. And it still is, but just in a different manner with the new rule.
Yeah. I don't know if I like it or not. I'm on the fence.
Well, I can go way back, and I mean way back. I am slightly younger than you.
Right.
But I remember on every jump ball, it was a tip instead of the alternate possession.
Yeah, I remember those,
And again, strategy. Who you going to tie up? If only.
Yeah. Things have changed.
I remember when a decent cheeseburger still cost 79 cents, Coach.
I remember candy bars. 25 cents.
Yes.
Yes.
Trip down to the local grocery store.
Whatchamacallit.
Oh, was that your favorite?
That was my favorite. 25 cents.
Do they even still make those?
I think they do.
Okay. Do you remember Chunky?
Chunky, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going back now.
We are. Well, when you got a 52-20 game, you kind of we're working in some film material right now.
We can add in some other stuff.
Absolutely. Schlatter near corner. He's open for 3. A little long on it. Oh, wow. Tapped around. Johnny on the spot. Brez Zippel with his second basket of the game. 54-20. It's a 34-point lead. This one being tapped around. One more basket, and Defiance is going to have a running clock here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, there's another rule change. There was never any running clock when I played.
I don't mind that one. 13 seconds left and counting. They'll work for the final shot. I'll tell you what, Bowling Green's still out and playing tight on the ball defense. Zippel with a nice screen. Right, beautiful
nice
behind. Oh, great inside out. Can they finish with a flurry? They cannot, but they got a great look. 54-20. We will head into the final 8 minutes. Defiance in command. We'll take a quick timeout. A Mark Motes Ford timeout. County Road 424 in Defiance and online at markmotesford.com. We're back after this on DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Motes Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Motes Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmotesford.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Back at Defiance, final 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. Brez Zippel with the steal, dribbles in and forces the double team to commit and then dishes at the last second. Give him an assist and is that number 14? No, that was number 12. That was Horvath picking up his first basket of the afternoon. And he goes over to shake his hand.
For the people out there watching, we have a 36-point lead now. So now it's a running clock. It starts at 35, but it now goes to 30. You got to
Correct.
reach 35. Once you reach 35, then it keeps running everything up to 29. If it goes back to 29 points, now they stop the clock for various whatever the reason is. How'd I do?
That was a great explanation, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, that's a rule that I do like. Football has the running clock, obviously.
Right.
Where I grew up, it was 50 points, and the game just stopped. And it was kind of
okay.
like the guillotine. You just
Okay.
chopped off the
Yeah.
opponent's head. So they switched after a year or two to go to a running clock. So that way there's more of a feel that you got to finish the game.
Right.
Basketball sounds like throughout. I'm trying to think of a state that does it any differently. I like the fact because at what point do you need to say enough is enough? How much can we rub your nose in it? But it also allows your guys to continue to play hard. So do you like that rule?
I wish it was 30 and 30. I wish it would just be one number and stay at the one number and then let it be done.
Sure.
I mean, once you reach 30, it's running clock, for the rest of the game.
Sure.
Kind of like football, sort of. 35, I understand, but I just like to see one number. Once you reach it, then let's just
Makes it
keep
so
doing
much
it.
easier to remember, right?
Yeah, it does for everybody. And I can just imagine what the scorekeepers, they might
Sure.
have a calculator down there. I know I would. But
This foul's going to go against Zipfel. It's going to be his second. And heading to the free throw line is Levi Kello.
I want to give Defiance a big shout out for their defensive play tonight. They're playing excellent, away from the ball defense, on the ball defense. They're not giving Bowling Green any secondhand shots. One shot and that's it with their defensive rebounding. And I think it's created offensive for them. And their defense is right now second to none. It's going to be a great championship game, them versus St. Francis and what they can do versus their athletic ability and also their size.
Kilo wave off the free throw as we had a lane violation, so the score remains 56-20. A lot of people are going to look at 56. Oh, great ball movement into the high block. Smitty hits the deck, and they play on. Jump ball, we're going to have a foul. If it's Zipfel, I think it's going to be his third. And it is. We were talking about it. That was one of our keys to the game. If the house is rocking, don't bother knocking. Right. 4 of their 5 opponents this season, Defiance has held to under 40 points. 1 to under 30. And unless something greatly changes here in the next 4 minutes and 55 seconds, it's going to be 5 out of 6 under 40 and 2 under 30. This is a team that plays at both ends of the court.
And there's a reason for that. And I'm sure if you look at their practice structure and practice plans.
And right there, defense into offense by Brez Zipfel.
I'm sure that Coach Lehman and his staff, if not half of his practice or close to it, is structured on defense. Defensive drills, you name it. 4-on-4 shell, rebounding, transition, whatever it may be.
Communication.
Yeah,
He's been hounding them for the last 2 weeks. It's not enough for one guy to move. Everybody's got to move, and you have to be vocal about it.
This is done in practice. What you're seeing tonight, they're working on it. There's a reason why they're going on their 6th game of holding opponents to such a low level.
59-20, and there's another turnover. It's 3-on-1 with the ball centered, but I want it, and a whistle. Trey Bibler was thinking, get me in the books, and he's going to have an opportunity.
It's nice to see some JV kids now being rotated into.
Now the clock continues to tick here.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's going.
Bibler rattles home his first free throw. He was 50%, 1 of 2 on the season before that free throw.
Yeah, this 3:24, it's gonna fly by here.
Yep. We hope to have Coach Lehman join us for our postgame. How could you not be, what's the old phrase, pleased but not satisfied?
Yeah, you're never satisfied. Yep. The longer that you do this, at least for me, you expect to win and the losses just kill you. Mm-hmm. You're thinking, what do we got to do to get better? What do we got to do to get better? And the wins, yeah, we did it right. Okay, let's move on. So hopefully, Coach Lehman can still enjoy those wins.
Well, on the flip side, if you're Coach Roth for Bowling Green, you've got such a young roster. Arguably your best player, certainly your best scorer, is sat the entire half, still nursing that ankle injury. I don't want to call him a future team because we still have better than half of the season left to go, but every trip out, can you improve? Can you trust the process? He and I were talking about that, and it's human nature. I don't care if you're 18 or you're 80. If something isn't working or you don't see the results, your first thought is, what do I got to do different? What do I got to change? And we've talked about this before. Quite often the answer is
hopefully it's
nothing. Just trust us and keep doing what you're doing. It'll pay off.
Basketball's a long season. You learn a lot. You learn to deal with adversity. You learn to deal with injuries. Again, trust the system like you said. And, you prepare for your league. Games like this will prepare you. Tournaments like this will prepare you for your league. And that's what it's about.
Battling down low. They kick it out. And how about the reserves getting into the scoring column? Matthew Walter with a Premier Bank three-pointer.
Good ball movement by Defiance Crete. Another steal.
Oh, wow. Coming the other way and answering at the other end.
Hey, they're getting their opportunity. You got to play hard, try to impress the coach. Might get some more playing time. There's all positives for this.
Well, I believe both Anthony Wayne and St. Francis have hopped on their respective buses. They stuck around for the first half. A little bit of a scout. As you heard both mention, there'll be practice tomorrow on a Sunday. Bibler, nice penetration. Becker wasn't quite ready for it.
And now with, the new huddle system, just film is so much easily available. You make a call, and boom, you got it. It's not like the old days.
The days of driving halfway.
Oh, my gosh. I remember those days. DVDs. I remember the VCRs. Hopefully people know what I'm talking about.
I do.
But, it just, things have changed so much. Technology has made it so much easier. But there's also a downside to that, too. There's also a little there's been unethical stuff happen, too, where a lot of film gets shared. It shouldn't get shared. Put it that way.
Becker in the books as he gets the offensive putback. 68-20. They'll enjoy it tonight. It'll be back to the grind tomorrow. It'll be one of many. But at least for tonight, the Bulldogs should celebrate. And the Bobcats can put some salve on a wound tomorrow to be back out here on Monday night. As that will do it. Final 2 seconds, tick off the clock. In command from almost beginning to end, 68-20. Defiance now 6-0 on the season as the Bobcats fall to 2-6. We will take a quick timeout. We will have your South 66 Lanes postgame, and we anticipate being joined by Coach Lehman in our postgame. Don't you go anywhere. Back right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Well, the dog pound, boy, it was hopping just about 3 minutes ago. It has quieted down just a little bit, but still some mullings as some fans heading to the exits and some very proud parents hanging around waiting for their youngsters to come out of the locker room, and they should be proud as Defiance just plain dominant here tonight. Day number 1, game number 2 of the 2024 Grube Holiday Classic as the Bulldogs remain perfect on the season with a 68-20 win over Bowling Green. Brent Balbanon alongside the coach Chris Dales as our South 66 Lanes postgame show is now underway. A lot of math to break down here, Coach, but let's start with defense. I talked about it during the pregame. We talked about it throughout the course of the contest. It's one thing to look at 68 points and say, wow. It's another thing to say 20. But that's what this team has been doing previous to today. 4 of their 5 opponents had been held to under 40 points. 1 had been held under 30. Well, add 1 more to both those columns. This is a team that plays at both ends of the court.
I'm really impressed with that number and defensively. And, you know, they always say defense wins championships. I'm a true believer in that. And this is what I see. I see them always in the right position. I see the other team not getting second chances. I see them in the passing lanes. They're just so fundamentally sound. And then that transitions then to offense. You know, if they don't get, you know, a wide open, you know, layup, hey, they're all set up for their offense. I'm just really impressed with their defense. And that's something that you install. We talked about it, you know, in the break, in practice. You're constantly working on that. Your practice plans that, you know, are directed towards that. Really impressed with that part of their game. And
it was just, if you are Defiance, it was a slow ascension. If you are Bowling Green, it was a slow bleed tonight. Look, Defiance was up 17-7 at the end of the first quarter. It was still anybody's game, but it was still tight. Second quarter, 32-11. Going into the respective locker rooms, and then 54-20 at the end of the third. The first basket in the fourth quarter led to the running clock, and that's where it finished up. So I know there's an old phrase. You're full of coaches' cliches. Not too high after a win, not too low after a loss. But you want your guys to enjoy it at least tonight, don't you?
Yeah, you definitely do, and you're right with that. You got to be happy with the way they played, especially defensively. You know, like we said, I would definitely stress that. And, you know, enjoy the win. You know, and this tournament is to make yourself better down the line. Make yourself better for league play. Make yourself better for the tournament play. Enjoy it. I'm sure they'll have something tomorrow. You know, either walk through, shooting. They'll have their scouting report because they got a big challenge Monday night, you know, in front of them. And you know, that's going to see, okay, where are we at, guys? Not only are we facing a tall, physical team, athletic team, they can run, they can play defense. They're going to see it all, and they're going to see a real test, you know, Monday night.
Got 2 juggernauts going after each other. Both will be 6-0 in the championship. That will be Monday night. Anticipated tip-off around 7:30. We will have the consolation game on the air for you as well at 6 o'clock, as it will be Anthony Wayne versus Bowling Green. Look, you've got teams that are very well aware of each other. As a matter of fact, 2 of the teams at this year's tournament are out of the Northern Lakes League. St. Francis, again, being a Toledo area team, have played these teams at least on a semi-regular basis. I don't want to say the one-off is Defiance, but if you're hosting your own tournament, they expect you to come here. But this is really a good I can't say pre-conference because they've already had a couple games in the WBL, but you get what I'm saying. Early season test. That's what you want out of your team. You expect to be better in December than November. You expect to be better in January than December. This is a good measuring stick, is it not?
Yeah, it definitely is. And we talked about this earlier. It's good that they're playing now because a lot of teams, you don't play a lot during break. And I think this is huge. Both of them got their mojo going. I mean, they're both playing well. You know, You want to keep that going. You don't want that big layoff. You're playing against good competition, and you're going to get into the grind. As soon as this break is over with, it is a grind, and I think this is a great way to just to keep everything flowing. Keep what you're doing. You have structure. Keep that structure going, and I think it's going to benefit not only Defiance but all these teams here.
We're still waiting, anticipating Coach Bryn Lehman to come up and join us. What we're going to do is take a quick timeout, 2-minute break. When we come back, we're going to break down the scoring totals and hope to be joined by Coach. So don't you go anywhere. It's the South 66 Lanes postgame. We're back after this on DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Back at the Dog Pound as we are putting the finishing touches on the postgame show brought to you by South 66 Lanes, new sponsor for the postgame for our winter sports. So a big thank you going out to them. Still waiting for Coach Lehman to come up and join us. What we're going to do is run down the individual scoring totals here and make a name correction. Leading all scorers tonight, Khalil Ligon finished with 19 points. He had 14 at the intermission. He had 5 in the second half. But in all honesty, almost everybody that set foot on the court contributed in some way. So he could have probably had himself a 25 to 30-point game. They didn't need him to. You wanted to get combinations of players on the court, see who works well in tandem with each other. You know what your starters are going to give you, and that's what certainly they got tonight, amongst many things.
Yeah, I will say this. I mean, like I said, he did a lot of dirty work for him. You know, a lot of rebounds, a lot of offensive rebounds, getting in there low, you know, establishing his low block presence. I really like how he plays hard and physical down low.
Also in double figures, it was not Owen Fry, but it was Drew Singleton. There was a number discrepancy on the roster, so our apologies seeing the young man for the first time on the court. But Drew Singleton, we will give you your props. 15 points off the bench, and wow, just what a spark plug. Now, again, not saying that can happen every night, but we saw glimpses of what this young man's capable of.
Yeah, boy, he's capable of a lot, shooting outside, and what I really like is his ability just to drive to the basket and go in there and expect, you know, some contact and then trying to finish. I was really impressed with that.
Yes, absolutely. Come on in here. We know where our bread is buttered. Did anybody come, or did you just remember, oh, yeah, those morons up on the second level? We've got to talk to those guys. Coach Lehman throwing on the headsets. How you doing, sir?
Doing well.
Absolutely. Can we bring up 3 just a little bit more, gentlemen? Bring him up just a bit. He's got a little bit of voice left, so he's going to give us the post game. 68-20. We were running through, number 1, Drew Singleton and not Owen Fry. We have made that correction now, so tell the family if you see him. Our apologies. We now have correctly identified Drew. Look, we can start offensively, but Coach and I were talking about this, and it was part of our pregame keys to the game. If the house is rocking, don't bother knocking, to quote Stevie Ray Vaughan. Coming into tonight, you had held all but one opponent to under 40 points. You'd held one opponent to under 30. Tonight, you tack on one more in both of those categories. It's easy to look at 68, but I want to ask you to start at the defensive end of the court. This team's been consistent at it. Do they get the credit they deserve for their defense?
Yeah, and you know, I think early on we've played 6 teams that they're not the greatest offensively, and I think we've been able to exploit some teams that have some weaknesses. I'm just proud of our guys for kind of taking them out of their game, what they wanted to do early on. You know, it was, I think, 17-11 at one point, and at that point, you know, it can really go one of two ways, and I was proud of our guys, how we put pressure on them. We were tremendous tonight defensively, not using our hands. This is the best we've played defensively, not hand checking. We get into foul trouble quite a bit. So I think just being able to run them off the line, they're a pretty good three-point shooting team. So taking them out of the game, I'm very proud of our guys, and that was able to spark and create some offense.
One of the things that I've noticed in watching practice over the couple of weeks was you had really been stressing defensively communication. It's not enough for one man to move. Everybody's got to move in tandem with each other, but they've got to know where they're supposed to be on the court. Is it progressing?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think last night, I hope every Friday is not a wake-up call for us, but we just got to come out with more life and energy. I think we were very flat last night, and there was no talk, like you just mentioned. So just us coming out with a little bit more fire and you know, dictating the tempo and dictating how this was going to go, that was huge, and I'm proud of our guys for that.
You know, Coach, being a football guy for all those years, and defense wins championships. I love that number 20 up there and what you were able, to hold them. And, just talk about, practice and what you want to establish in practice defensively, in your goals defensively, in your drills, because that just doesn't happen. You're doing something right, and you're really working on it. Just kind of talk about the importance of that and what you're trying to do during practice.
We do a lot of shell drill. We really break it down, and we we'll show the opposing team's fronts. I probably do less running a team's full play, I want to do certain actions, and I want to see, how we're going to defend a ball screen or how we're going to, defend a California screen in the post. So we really break down in shell drill, and we get after it. We split them into blue-white groups, and I've got a running ticker in our locker room of each individual guy's record in those blue-white games and who's competing and who's, we've got their win percentage posted for everybody to see. So if you're not competing, your teammate's going to see that. And I think, our practices are competitive right now. I'd love to take it up another notch. But our guys are starting to embrace that, and then they're seeing the results.
Yeah, that's great. And I tell you what, 4-on-4 shell drill, you can do everything with that. And I really impressed how you break that down. And if you guys keep on doing that, I think really good things will happen, because it seemed like your defense transitioned into some really good things offensively.
Yeah, and we got some guys that have come back, and you've both said it. If our defense can buckle down and create offensive opportunities, we now have some guys that can run a little bit in transition and create some offense.
All right, so let me ask you to piggyback on that a little bit, because it's one thing to get a steal or a turnover, you take away an opportunity. But then to convert on the other end, do you have a percentage or a ballpark to convert, knowing that I don't want to call those free points, but at the same time, that's where you can build some extra offense?
I'd like to make all of them, but we don't really have a benchmark that we're shooting for. I think we could finish it a little bit better and more efficiently in the post. We've got to start taking some bumps a little bit better and finishing through contact. But we're coming along, and we've got guys that they haven't played basketball in a few years, and they're adjusting to the physicality at the varsity level. So I am optimistic that we can figure that out.
You notice the deadpan response there, but he was dead serious. Yeah. Remind me, never play a poker game with this guy, so unless he spots me at least a few chips. All right, so you've got a day off. You and I talked a bit about this at the end of last week. It's unique because normally this tournament is back-to-back nights. Instead, the schedule quite didn't allow it, so you've got tomorrow off, then Monday night, the championship. So you've got the better part of 2 days to kind of heal up. But what do? Walk through? Any scout? How are the next 48 hours going to be prepared?
We'll break some film down. We'll have the guys look at quite a bit of film, and then Monday morning we'll walk through and look at some St. Francis stuff. I think they're a tall task, and they're
literally,
and they have. They present some matchup issues at a number of areas. I think our length, we can probably throw a little bit more length on the floor than a lot of teams can. So we're going to have to mix in some zone because they've got guards that are quick all over the place. And the Heck kid that runs the show for them, he's impressive. And
Smooth.
We've seen him. Yeah. We've seen him since he was a freshman. He's a gamer. He's tough. He takes coaching well. He's a kid that concerns us on a number of levels. And then they've got playmakers all over.
All right, Coach, we will be here Monday night. Appreciate you coming up and joining us. Best of luck.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks. Yeah.
Big win, 68-20 over Bowling Green. We're going to take one more time out. When we come back, we'll put a big blue and white bow on it. You're watching the South 66 Lanes postgame on DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
South 66 Lanes postgame show continues at the Dog Pound as Defiance just in control from pretty much the opening tip to the final buzzer. They even had a running clock in the fourth quarter. It all adds up to a 68-20 win over Bowling Green. What a difference a year makes. This time last year, it was a tough loss, 45-36 to Anthony Wayne, and dropping both games at this tournament. But we've got Khalil Ligon one of the team captains, and I just kind of look at him and I think he walks like a man now, Coach. He doesn't beat his chest a whole lot. He just expects a lot out of himself. You probably hold yourself to the highest standard here, but what's been the difference from this time last year to right now, not just for you, but this entire team?
I think we're just practicing hard, basically. We're going at it a lot more at practice, being more competitive with each other, and pushing each other to be the best that we can be, and I think that's transferring over to the game.
Coach told me I don't want to say challenged you, but for lack of a better word, I'll use that, to be more vocal, to be a leader this year. We did a pregame interview. We're going to have to re-record with Josiah Schlatter, but he said he really struggled in his opening varsity contest. Game was moving too fast for him. He just didn't play well. He said you were the first person to come up to him and try and console him, but also give him some advice. How have you basically wrapped both arms around that role this year?
I'm trying to give my team confidence. I mean, that's when we're going to be at our best, when everybody's working together, everybody's scoring the ball, everybody's moving the ball, rebounding the ball. So if I'm more vocal, then it just makes my team play 10 times better, and we can just play way better.
Well, you probably don't know this, okay? But I always got something. I coached your sister.
Oh, really?
Kenya. At Ayersville.
This is my cousin.
Cousin. Okay, I was close, okay? Because I knew you guys were related, but great game. And I've said this already twice tonight. I love how you do the dirty work. You know, I was a forward / center, when I played in high school ball. I love your positioning. I love you going after, the rebounds. Yeah. But I think that your play is contagious to the other players. I see that out there. Just talk about how you're just going out there hard and just trying to bring your level up and bringing everybody with you.
Yeah, as Coach naming me a captain, I knew I had to show my teammates if I'm down, then they're going to be down. So I have to somehow, every day, every game, that I got to go out there and show them how to get their energy up, play with confidence, and that's all I have to show for my team right there.
Well, I tell you what, being captain, that's a big honor, and that's a great honor, and congratulations with that.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing, because you see a lot of good things of you out there.
Thank you.
You draw the prize Monday night.
Yeah.
They're tall. They are physical. They are fast. I don't want to say a team with no weaknesses, but you're going to play an elite team on Monday night. What's the team's mindset need to be?
Go right at them. Don't, just because they're taller, bigger, maybe a little more athletic than us, we have to go right at them. No matter what, it doesn't matter who we play. We got to play with 100% effort.
Show a little of this.
Yeah, show some heart, and that's the ultimate factor for us to win.
We're looking forward to it. Congratulations on a win tonight. Good
Thank
luck
you.
Monday.
Good job.
He scores 19 points tonight. Just so happens to be Khalil Ligon is our BSN player of the game. We'll size him up. I'm guessing extra large, double XL. You like him long? Just a large? At 6'5", he says just a large. I guess it pays to be in really tremendous shape, doesn't it? I won't tell you what size we wear. But we want to thank BSN. They will receive a DCTV Sports Player of the Game T-shirt courtesy of BSN Sports, the official apparel provider of DCTV Sports. Coach, appreciate you throwing on the headset, doing a couple here today. We got a lot more coming after the Christmas break, but we will be back here on Monday night. 6 o'clock, I believe, is the Consolation Championship. Anticipate a 7:30 tip-off for the championship. In the first game, it will be Anthony Wayne versus Bowling Green. And in the nightcap for the title, it will be Defiance versus St. Francis. Both teams undefeated. That's going to do it for our broadcast here this evening. For our entire staff doing more than yeoman's work, big thank you going out to all of our underwriters for helping make the broadcasts a possibility. And as always, you the fan for tuning in. For Coach Chris Dales, I'm Brent Balbinot. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.